Welcome to the Executive Insights Podcast, brought to you by AWS. My name is Tom Soderstrom, and I'm an enterprise strategist in AWS. And today we have David Villaseca with us from Moeve, a global energy company. David, would you mind talking a little bit about yourself and Moeve and what you do and what the vision is?
Thank you, Tom. I'm Chief Digital Officer of Moeve. My role is making sure that we are accelerating the energy transition with digital solutions. My background, I was previously working in Silicon Valley for a hyperscaler corporation. And now we have really a great challenge. Moeve is a new brand, and previously we have a history of 90 years of experience in the energy world. And now we are through a great and strong transformation in order to accelerate the energy transition.
You got rid of 70% of your oil focus, didn't you?
Yeah, that's true.
Why and how did that go? We talk about digital transformation. This was a big one.
We have two different challenges. On the one side, we have a profound business transformation alongside the energy transition, and we have a lot of challenge in this transformation, and we need to empower our colleagues and our customers, B2B customers and B2C customers, in their own decarbonization journey. In this way, we call this vision green digital, because we are using data, artificial intelligence, and IoT to empower our colleagues and customers in their own transformation.
Interesting. We're going to dig deeper on this one. So as an enterprise strategist, I talk to hundreds of executives across the world. And this year, their priorities have changed. The thing that I hear most about now is the need for speed, the need to move faster, to transition, to profitability, to change. So you're doing a big transition with a need for speed. What do you see happening?
I think that we have a lot of key performance indicators in a few years to fulfill with this transformation. So this idea of need for speed in our case is at the core of our own transformation. And to share some KPIs, for example, by 2030, in a few years, we need to reduce our carbon footprint by 55%, which is a huge impact. On the other hand, we need to make sure that more than half of our EBITDA comes from the new renewable and sustainable sources of energy, which is a huge transformation. That's why we need to empower our colleagues and customers with data and with artificial intelligence solutions. I think that at the end of the day, we need to make sure that we are accelerating this transformation, and that data, cloud, and generative AI, and just some elements, because we need to do a change management with our corporations.
David, I really like that. I like your vision, and I like the fact that, sustainability is everybody's key priority. It's all of our problem to solve our burning planet. What you mentioned is two things. One is you have a corporate goal that's tough, just like Amazon is going to be carbon neutral by 2040, water positive by 2030. But you need those big goals. So that's one. The other one is sustainability is not just a good thing. It's good for the business. It's good for the pocketbook. So I applaud you for doing this, and I think it's going to be fantastic to look at your journey.
No, I think that at the end of the day, we're combining an impact in terms of business growth. And for example, with some artificial intelligence solutions, we have an annual return over 300%, sometimes even 1,000%. So we are making a positive impact in our P&L. But at the same time, we are making sure that we are using artificial intelligence to accelerate our own decarbonization journey. And I think that there are some figures that are really interesting to share. For example, according to the World Economic Forum, artificial intelligence solutions can accelerate the decarbonization in the world around 5 to 10% by 2030. That's another way to think in terms of need for speed, in terms of decarbonization journeys.
That's great. So Internet of Things and machine learning and generative AI, buzzwords, but very important buzzwords. You've done some interesting things in analytics and machine learning. Do you want to talk about those? I think
Yeah.
everybody will be interested.
I think that there are interesting learnings on how these buzzwords are really transforming our business. And for example, if you think about our energy parks, for example, we are helping to have diversified sources of clean energy, for example, and we are empowering with data gathering from IoT sensors our colleagues in the field because they have the knowledge to optimize their operations. I think that this is something really important for us. And for example, we have different solutions, and we can talk about that later. For example, we have an artificial intelligence governance platform, which is important in our case in Europe. And also we have a generative AI factory that help us to develop at-scale solutions for our colleagues and optimize the way they're working. I think that this is also it's important for our own transformation.
Yeah, I was interested in the AI Act from Europe. So you already touched on that. Are you going to be compliant with that?
Yeah, for sure. I think that we have a human-first approach to these huge compliance requirements in Europe. And the idea is that we need to make sure that we are all aligned and we have this people-first approach. And for example, we have a joint data and artificial intelligence governance model. For example, we have built a new data management office that works together with our business colleagues to make sure that they have their right data owners. I think that this is an important element. And then democratizations of data and artificial intelligence. We're making sure that all our colleagues know how to handle these artificial intelligence solutions. And for example, we have digital skills training to around 2,000 of our colleagues. And then we have built specific skills, and we have around 250 citizen data scientists that are business experts, process experts, that now they use our data science tools, artificial intelligence tools. I think that this is something important. And then for sure, you need to be compliant with our artificial intelligence act in the European Union. These regulations set specific limits on what can be done and cannot be done with artificial intelligence. And beyond that, we have built our own ethical principles. And at the end of the day, we need to reduce the complexity of this governance, and that's why we have built an artificial intelligence governance and observability platform. I think that this is interesting because we have built 100% in-house, and it's focused on governance and this idea of managing the ethical principles in all of our artificial intelligence solutions. On top of that, we need to make sure that we have the right human insight approach, making sure that we are co-creating with our colleagues, with our customers, the right solutions. And at the end of the day, because of our commitment to sustainability, we need to make sure that in all the different artificial intelligence developments, we are optimizing the energy consumptions and reducing the potential emissions. I think that that's something really important on how can we leverage these regulations and going beyond just the compliance part.
My background is I was Jet Propulsion Laboratories Chief Technology Innovation Officer. It's part of NASA. And you mentioned citizen scientists, music to my ears. Citizen scientists can do so many things. They can help you in their free labor, essentially, but they want to participate. They want to do good things. How do they get access? How do you give them access to do good things?
I think that we have combined different approaches. First, this is about developing their digital skills and artificial intelligence skills. So there is a lot of training on this part. And then we need to make sure that we are delivering the right tools and solutions. And for example, we have built a generative AI factory where we can develop the right assistance and the right agents to empower and help them. And we have built this platform and this factory on generative AI to make sure that we help them reusing the right models. So we are doing in an efficient way. And again, and coming back to the point of sustainability, we are making sure that we are selecting the best LLM solutions, and not just in terms of cost or accuracy, but also in terms of the energy consumption again. And we are empowering, for example, with assistance for field workers in the service stations or in the energy parks. And I think that this is really useful for them to get to the right procedures. And we are also helping our engineering teams or even HR. So I think that these are a lot of different opportunities that we are leveraging these citizen data scientists and all the colleagues.
Now, you mentioned something interesting, which is different LLM models. Of course, we in AWS don't believe there's one ring to rule them all. In fact, each large language model will improve and innovate, and our customers will pick the best one for their use case. In the end, how many language models do you think you'll use?
I think that where we are realizing is that in just a couple of years, we have really expanded our capability. And when Amazon shares that they have a new solution, a new foundational model as Amazon Nova, we are able in the real time to compare with our different solutions and choose the best one for our needs. So I think that in the future, we can have different LLMs because right now we have different LLMs for different needs. Sometimes you need maybe something cheaper in terms of a scale also. Sometimes you need to have more advanced models. And I think that at the end of the day, we need to make sure that we are the owners of this decision. I think that that's the best part of, for example, our collaboration on our generative AI platform with AWS Bedrock solution. I think that that's really useful for us to choose and pick the best LLM model for each application.
Yeah, and you will learn a lot, and the world will learn from what your experiments are. The other thing we're seeing with generative AI is it brings back the importance of data. And of course, you are having a lot of data. Now, what can you share about the amount of data, the data strategy, the variety of data, and how it affects what you're going to do?
I agree that what learning that we have is really to make sure that all your artificial intelligence solutions are built over a strong foundation of data. And in our case, in Moeve, we have been working the last 6 years in our journey to the cloud, and we have developed around 400 data-driven solutions, and we are working across 12 data domains. So for us, we have a lot of experience on this area of that data strategy. And I think that the point is that this is not enough. And right now, as much as we are using artificial intelligence and getting a good return on their investments, we are increasing our efforts on data gathering. We need more data on our different touch points, in our different assets. And the right data quality is important. In our case, I was talking previously, the data management office take care of the quality of this information and having the right metadata. And I think that these are some elements that we need to take into account always. It's a combination of data management and then artificial intelligence development.
Good. No, I like the sound of that. It's interesting. Now, I heard of Moeve's 2030 positive motion strategy.
Yeah.
Share a little bit about that. Great sounding initiative.
Yeah, I think that the positive motion is a vision on the Moeve transformation. We are all working with the same purpose. And I think that we have these strong indicators that we need to make sure that we are churning the business. We have, you were talking about, we have sold most of our investments in the upstream business, and we are investing to make sure that we are betting on this biofuel and green hydrogen solutions. I think that that's something meaningful. We are for sure combining the electrical vehicles with different solutions across the world. And for example, green hydrogen is really important for our transport and industrial customers in the B2B world. So I think that at the end of the day, we are betting to be the leaders in the southern part of Europe in these sustainable energies. And that's really a purpose for all of us, the digital teams and all our colleagues. We are working with the same vision. I think that that's really powerful, the purpose that we share.
The mission is super important. I'll share a story from NASA. When John F. Kennedy, the president, came to NASA and said, in 1962, we're going to put a man on the moon, not because it's easy, because it's hard. He asked a janitor, he said, what do you do for NASA? And the janitor could have said, I helped it make it clean for the engineers. He did not. He said, I'm helping to put a man on the moon. And so the mission statement was very clear. With your mission, what would you say is the mission statement of Moeve?
We have a clear vision, and we want to make sure that we are empowering the world, different industries, different people with sustainable energy.
Good.
To make it possible, this growth, but at the same time to make it sustainable. I think that's really a powerful vision for us. And this idea of positive motions reinforce the idea that we need to have a positive impact in everything that we are doing. These times, I think that it's really powerful, and it really helps us to attract talent in our digital skills. For example, you imagine data scientists. It's tough to get these specialists. And the great thing is that we can attract this talent because we have this vision, and we can attract also conscious customers that are willing to transform either B2C, their own mobility in a sustainable way, but also the B2B leaders that they need to transform their own industries. And in Europe, with these new regulations that empowers the energy transition, we have a lot of conversations with airlines leaders, and they ask us about how can we use the sustainable airline fuel, for example, that we are producing in your new biofuel plants, to accelerate our business in a sustainable way. I think that this type of conversation, they're really interesting. And we are co-creating with them solutions based in data and artificial intelligence, also not just to empower our own decarbonization journey, but also to help them, to empower them in their own decarbonization journey. I think that that's really powerful, and we can expand our positive motion vision as a shared vision in the society. I think that this is really powerful.
One question that just popped into my head is, as we talk to customers across the world that have to go through this digital transformation, the culture is hard to change. How are you finding that? Has it been difficult?
I think that in our case, the first part is the new vision that we have shared. This new mission in 2022 has been really the first level of the transformation of the culture. So I think that culture is really a tough word. So we have a clear vision, and digital has been also another level to accelerate this culture. New design thinking, agile, and different methodologies can help us also to transform our own culture. At the end of the day, we are a company with more than 90 years of history, but at the same time, we have this just couple of years of history with this new vision, and it's really a powerful way to really empower all of us together.
So the strong mission will help to make this cultural transformation. Because a 90-year-old company, it's hard to change, as we're seeing. But congratulations, you're well on your way.
We're working on
and
that.
you are the chief digital officer, right? So this is your challenge.
Yeah, I think that when I was living in Silicon Valley and I received the call of this corporation, I thought that it was really important because we are making history.
Yeah.
And we call it the twin transition, but it's a triple transition. Twin transition means that we need to accelerate energy transition with digitalization. But at the end of the day, we are also transforming business. I think that this is something that a lot of colleagues in different industries, they're going through this same need. They need to transform. And data and artificial intelligence, it's really a source of empowerment for this transformation. I think that even the assistants and the agents are empowering us to share some common thoughts. I think that there are really powerful tools that we are sharing with our colleagues.
As I think about the triple transition, I like that. That's new. I have not heard that from anybody else. So if you were saying you were going to give recommendations to people, first executives and users, what are 3 things you recommend?
My first advice would be use artificial intelligence to empower your energy transition and decarbonization journey. I think that this is something really powerful that all of us we can do. So I think that the question is that we are empowering also our customers with our mobile solutions driven by data and artificial intelligence to make sure that they are also having a better experience if you are charging your car or if you are going through these new biofuel solutions. And I think that this is really powerful, that we are also empowering our friends and families in their daily lives. I think that this idea that the energy transformation is not just for B2B customers, there are also for all of our friends and families, it's for all of us. And I think that, again, data and artificial intelligence, we are empowering this new multi-energy experience. I think that this is something really important for all of us to have a positive impact together. Second, I would say this idea of human first approach. This is not just about technology or data or LLMs. It's about making sure that we are leveraging this technology and taking into account the pain points of the people, of our colleagues, of our customers. And we need to co-create the solution. And then it comes the LLM, then comes the data, and the nicest part in terms of the technology. But I think that we need to take into account that we need to work together. People and technology, we need to work together and connect the dots. And third element for me, it should be making sure that you have the right approach in terms of value and measurement. I think that we are getting really huge impact in terms of growth, business growth and business transformation, because we are measuring the return of the investment. I was sharing this idea of over 300%, and this really resonates with our shareholders. It's about making sure that we are helping the P&L growth. This value-based approach is really powerful, and combining business growth and decarbonization journeys, I think that this is really powerful.
I think that's a really good point. If I were going to give my three, it would be that one. Being sustainable is good for business. The other one, be for the executives, set an aggressive goal, that as you have done. And the third one is just experiment your way forward. Fast and scrappy and easy to reach those eventual goals. So last question. When you look back at this, you mentioned 2030. 2030 is a big goal for you. So year 2030, what do you want to be remembered for?
I would say that we really make a positive impact in the society because we really empower the new combination of digital solutions and new sustainable energy. I think that this is really powerful, and I really think that in a few years, several energy companies will be on this same path. So I really hope that we are seen as a trendsetter in this energy transition, empowered by data, artificial intelligence, and IoT. So I do really think that building new digital native plants, as we are doing, of biofuel and green hydrogen, we can be really trendsetters for other companies that can leverage on our own journey to make it even faster.
That's a great vision. That's something that you can tell your children and eventual grandchildren that, hey, I was part of this, starting this journey. So
we're making history together.
We are making history. So I want to thank you for your insights, this executive insight, and good luck. We need you. Thank you.
Thank you.